Well, would you look at that, Gabrielle?
Hi.
One of the most famous grape accusers in the history of the United States has admitted it was a lie.
She was lying.
It was a lie. You know, destroyed the lives of
Couldn't
the
possibly
people
be
she
real.
accused, but now it was a lie.
Hmm.
You know, I don't know. It's interesting to note that like that is a thing that happens. You know,
Yeah, that some women will do for attention and or money and or fame.
they'll just make things up. You know, because and as we get into this, we are going to look at exactly which infamous grape accuser has now gone public and admitted that she lied. And it is, I mean, up until like
A big one.
yeah, huge one. One of the biggest ones of all time, actually. This was honestly one of the ones that started the believe all women thing. It's like if you really go back and look at how the public behaved, you know, in that case, especially given the fact that the race and all that stuff, it was just honestly the evidence when you look at the Conor McGregor case with the CCTV and all that stuff. It's unbelievable the similarities between this case and that case, in my opinion.
I don't even remember all the.
Oh, we're gonna
details.
go through them.
We're gonna
How
dive in.
about semen from 3 different men? None of them the ones she was
The
accusing.
boys.
Yeah.
Oh,
How about that?
that's pretty damning.
Yeah. How about that? Well, no, I
But
mean,
hey,
yeah,
if someone said something happened,
yeah. They're all.
We
So
have
the
to believe 'em.
DNA has 3 people. None of them are these boys, though. She's like, but that is what happened. They're all, well, maybe our DNA testing is not working. You know,
yeah.
maybe
Just because you had sex with 3 guys earlier in the day doesn't mean I don't know.
just because you're bruised. If you say they did it, I mean, I'm sure they did it.
Maybe.
All right. So yeah, dude, our last video, like
What?
I don't generally make big like missteps in terms of like, you know, knowing what people are going to want to see, but we just kind of randomly talked about the UFO thing, like at the end of the video. And so I was like, all right,
I'll
like
throw it on the title.
because you guys know what this channel's like this is not like my main channel where it's like I'm telling you guys a specific story. It's just like here are the
This
things
is
that we
like,
talked about.
Welcome to our ADD
Exactly.
conversation.
Exactly.
And we're glad y'all are here with us.
Yeah. And that video has like a 30% click-through rate or something like that, which is, I mean, if you
I
guys,
haven't even looked at the comments. What are people mad that
No,
there's
not
not
at
enough
all.
UFOs? Oh, okay.
it's still after 3 hours is at a 27.5% click-through rate. That's the highest I've ever had
Wow.
on any channel by a mile.
telling
After
you,
that
people
time.
like UFOs, myself
And the
included.
average view time is almost 14 minutes with a 99% like ratio. Dude, let me tell you guys something right now. People like this channel more than they like my main channel. They did just a like objective truth based on the analytics. Like I knew that was going to be the case when we started this. I told Gabrielle 1,000 times. I told her she should start her own channel, but
It's not nearly as fun. Maybe I'll bring the cat and him and I'll do a channel.
do best. I know, dude. I love Dubs, man. I saw he threw it up. I got to get his contact information from John Bravo. So, okay. Love you guys as well. So
Yes,
we
love
are,
y'all.
so today we are going to talk about the shocking realization that
Women
girls
lie.
do in fact lie. And then they, you know, I think the headline is
Did he just fall?
woman admits she lied about
Hey.
Duke lacrosse players graping her nearly 20 years ago. I made up a story. Now, if you guys are too young to remember the Duke lacrosse grape story, it was literally it was like the Diddy story.
Yeah.
It was literally like the Diddy story. It was the biggest story by a mile in the country. It was in 2006. And I
remember
still remember it was like,
Hey, Jessica.
but yeah, so we're going to get into all of that. There's also a very interesting development about the victim and what she's doing now. the not victim, I mean, the not victim. But I actually remember hearing about this because she's doing life in prison for murder now. And I actually do think that I knew
accuser?
that. The accuser is, yeah, like a few years after she killed somebody.
Yeah.
But, you know, listen, I stand fast on my opinion of the Conor McGregor case. And so we're also going to take a look at some of the additional things that are happening to Conor as as the fallout from this thing continues. And then we're going to compare some of the facts from the Duke lacrosse case to the current Conor McGregor case. You know,
I love this plan. Okay.
That's what we're doing, dude.
Let's get into it.
Guess what else, though?
What?
Okay, one other thing. Now, I'm going to do a really big deep dive on this on my channel today. But in case everybody has not seen this, we have another massive UFO story in Oregon now. They're like you can listen to the baffled pilots report UFOs moving really quick above Texas. Wait, what? It says all the stories I heard was Oregon. Dude,
click it.
Yeah, let's see.
Where? Dallas.
Okay, let's listen to it. Please, God, let me finally see a UFO.
Seriously.
If there's, I mean, please. All right, we'll come back to this once the ad is up. If there is a, oh, never mind, it's ready to go. Let's do this.
Skippity doo dah.
Envoy 3413, got a question. Go ahead. You know if the river's MOA is hot, you got anybody mess around over there? It is cold. Well, I was curious why you asked. It's going to sound a little weird, but we keep asking about the MOAs we keep asking because we're following these two kind of lights that are up above us that are kind of jogging back and forth left and right for the past like half hour. Really? Yeah, I don't see anything on radar, and no, river's just not active. Cool, thanks.
Yeah, 1757, we've been watching them for about an hour or two in the northwest skies. They were really weak as well.
Oh. Way up high?
Split positions. They actually moved. It's the first time I've seen them change relative positions.
That's weird. Are they way up high?
Real close.
Sorry, Block, you say they're close in to you or they're up high?
Oh, I'd put them about 100 miles out in space.
Gotcha.
Agreed.
Yeah, they get super bright and then go completely dim also.
Wow.
Target 2800, increase speed 280. 280, American 2800. American 2100, Fort Worth 12487, good night.
12487, 2100.
Envoy 3413, Fort Worth 12487, good night.
2487, Envoy 3413, good day.
Fort Worth, guys, 5327. Go ahead. Yeah, just got assessment from my flight crew and the nurse. Patient is fine. At this point, refusing any medical. At this point, we've reached the point where we have to continue for it to send anyhow this report.
Okay, we got it, I guess.
Whoa. So wait, it was American Airlines and then another like, there was two planes, right?
Yeah, reporting the same thing.
The same phenomenon?
Yeah.
And nothing on radar.
No, that's the thing is
above
in all of these incidents, it's not on radar. Like they're not seeing. I mean, the thing is with some UFOs, they do have radar evidence, but for these ones,
have we told my mom's stories? So my mom was a flight attendant and she obviously had a lot of pilot friends. She flew for 36 years, like had some stories and a lot of people. And she told me these wild UFO stories that pilots were seeing and they could never come forward because they would basically get fired for being nutso, you know?
Isn't that insane?
It's crazy. But she had like the craziest story, the one that I remember the most vividly is they were flying on, I guess there's this very long stretch over water between, I forget where the originating spot is, but it's on the way to Guam. So it's a super, super, super long stretch over the ocean, like one of the longest that commercial flights travel. And the pilots were flying the plane. It was nighttime. Everyone's asleep. And they see this huge like disc come up on one of like either the right or the left wing and like went along with them for several miles, darted out super far in front, came back to the other side of the plane to the other wing, stayed with them for another several miles, went super far back, came back up to the original side again, stayed with them. And then as soon as land appeared on the horizon, just fucking took off, gone. And like it gives me chills still telling that story.
Yeah.
There's stuff out there, yo.
Like, of course.
There's stuff out there. And it's
too many people.
We're talking UFOs, Lil Havana.
Yeah.
Welcome.
We're talking UFOs.
Or
okay. So how
UAPs now we call them?
Oh,
so stupid.
They changed it to UAPs because they thought it had negative connotation, UFOs.
What? That's the best connotation. Are you kidding me?
Well, they think that like it's associated with like tinfoil hat.
That's why we love it. UFOs forever.
Anyway, but I'll tell you the other reason that I don't love UAP is because the first time I heard it was Hillary Clinton saying it on a talk show. She's all, the new word is UAPs. And she does it just like that, to where you're all, if I adopt this, then she thinks that she's like worked me, you know, like I'm serious. It's just like that. Like where she's like, now we're calling them UAPs for all the dumbbells. Okay. Hold on. I'll show you, because it really is like that condescending.
Why is my nose running so bad today?
There it is. Oh, wow. Weather. Of course. And it's on, this is when she's running for president, and they're all, didn't you say you were going to look last time, or that Bill Clinton said he was going to look? And she's like, yeah, but I'm going to do it again. It's like,
don't be so quick to want to meet up. Too close to them. Not anymore.
Yeah, they're not going to show the clip. Oh, they're not even going to show it. Okay, but for the record, it's absolutely hilarious to have. Well, no, that's but what's his name right there, Mr. fucking Pizzagate Podesta? He is he is a big like UFO person. But the funny thing about that is Hillary Clinton saying she was going to, what's up, Guru?
Demystify.
Saying she was going to go in and declassify.
Demystify, I think, was the word that she used.
But like in reality, declassify any research going on at Area 51 is equivalent to Kamala Harris saying that they're going to tax unrealized gains. It's just a straight up lie. Like, it's just like Hillary Clinton. She's the one that's going to go into one of the most secure military installments in the United States. And she's like, we're opening the books for all the public, because I definitely think, you know, government transparency is one of the things that's very important. You are the exact opposite of that, liar. It's just so ridiculous. Like, they think everybody's so stupid. Anyway, but let's actually, okay. So last thing I wanted to look at on this before we go.
Now we've gone completely off topic.
That's what we do, dude.
Thanks for going on this ride with us.
Yeah. Guys. Okay. So pilots told to maneuver around Oregon UFO. Okay. So like there's a bunch of stuff in
go around it. Wait, what pilots?
Maneuver around the UFO. Yeah.
Commercial flights?
Yep. 2 pilots described seeing UFOs zipping through the sky west of Eugene, Oregon on Saturday night, according to an alleged report of their communication. Dude, let's get out and let's I
want to go find them.
I'm going to say, let's look at the sky tonight.
Yeah.
You know,
down with that. They were over Dallas, so they can't be too far away.
Dude, honestly, do you know how rare it is for people to be outside looking at the sky anymore? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like,
no, I was talking to Brittany about UFOs, and she's like, Ben is such like a UFO junkie. He will literally walk outside and go stare at the sky. I'm like, dude, same. Like, I love it. She's like, yeah, okay, you and Ben can geek out over the UFOs together. I'm like, best.
There's not a person in this family that's going to talk geeking on UFOs more than me, dude.
Well, obviously we're all going to be together. Melissa's like, I want to go too. And so
I wasn't saying that. I'm saying I'm the biggest UFO geek on earth.
It's true.
And I'm also pretty good at sniffing out the real ones versus the horse shit. Now
that looks like the Phoenix Lights.
That is why I pulled this up, because this is the most credible UFO incident in the history of the world. The Phoenix Lights. Of it, though? See, an illustration of a triangular shaped, similar to the one.
Shut up, UAP.
Yeah, Phoenix Lights over Arizona, March 13, 1997. Mm-hmm. Every single person who saw this was like, there is no way that humans made this. This is not, they're like, this is not
it was like a football field size. Right?
No, they said way bigger than that.
Oh, really?
They said one of them said, they're like, every person who talked about it, they all said something about how big it was. And they're like, how can I use words to describe the biggest thing I've ever seen? And they're like, one of the guys said, it
like blacked out the sky for a lot because it was low.
One person, that's what I'm saying. She said that if she took a newspaper and opened it in front of her face, that would not have blocked this thing out. And another guy, so someone said to him, he's like, someone said to me that maybe I saw a B-52 bomber. He's like, you could have landed 30 B-52 bombers on one wing of this craft. That's what he said. But, oh no, I mean, listen, dude, lots of people are bigger nerds. I'm saying Gabrielle's not a bigger nerd than me. I'm competing with Gabrielle right now because I'm pretty
nerdy though about this.
Feeling a little bit.
Love it. Jesse's claim is that if he ever was offered a chance to travel back in time to any time ever, that he would go see the Phoenix Lights.
100% instantly in 1 second.
No question. No other time in history. That's the one.
Immediately. Take me back to March 12th, 1997, and let me get prepared. So the next night, I know there's going to be. Dude, you don't want to see an alien ship fly over?
I do.
I mean,
I think it's cool.
What would be the better option than that? If you could go back in time, like where do you want to go?
I didn't show you the video. I should show you the video that Melissa sent me that Brendan took.
They never look like.
Well, dude, no, it's actually pretty fucking wild.
All right. And then, guys, since we're 15 minutes in, we will definitely talk about the purpose of this video, which is the grape case that is weird, fake.
You gotta find it.
Now, what was that?
I don't know.
Go back to that.
There's someone on the team.
Go back to that.
Trying to figure out if I'm trying to figure out what it is.
That's a lot of boobs. Okay, so
I gotta find it.
Okay, you find it.
Okay.
Aside from that, though, we're actually going to move over to this grape case.
Okay.
Now, how many of you guys recall the Duke lacrosse rape case?
I do, because
it was literally the biggest case, not just the biggest rape case. It was the biggest case. It was the biggest story in the country. Okay. Okay, here we got the video.
Look at those lights.
We'll show them. Jesus.
I know I'm showing you.
Oh, fucking
learn how to use
shit.
an iPhone.
Fuck this phone.
Jesus.
God damn it. Just kidding. Okay, how do I do it?
When are you gonna remember that?
Oh my God.
Look what you did. You freaking.
Look at this is me.
Here we go. Here we go. Maybe I'll hold the phone since he can't be.
Show it to him.
All right. So. Oh, we just had a really bad glare.
Oh, that's awful.
I can't make it work.
That's not gonna work. No, you just
try and clean it.
No, it's not gonna work, dude. I
brightness.
Here, all right, here. I'll go like this so you can do it.
I got it.
Oh, look at Gabrielle's body.
Hey, the brightness is.
No, I did it like this so like you could put it down here.
Just
oh God, forget it. No one wants to see it that bad, dude.
Now you're gonna need the ring light in it. You're horrible. This is not gonna work. See those lights?
Wow. Best UFO video of all time.
You suck. You watch it. Watch. Look at those lights.
I see them.
Look.
Do they zip off anywhere?
I don't know.
I mean, that is weird for sure.
It clearly looks like a circle too.
Okay.
Like it's.
Here is the last thing I'm going to say about this. I definitely want to make this point. Very clearly, if you have the technology to go from 0 to 1 billion miles an hour, like with no lead up, you obviously have the ability to be there and not have people see you. So it seems like they are intentionally letting us see them.
Well, it's also possible that technology breaks and their little clicking mechanism turns off by accident. And they're like, oh shit. And then they turn it back on again.
It's possible.
You know,
if the case that I have heard of that to me was like a UFO broke down. And then they said, is the one that happened
in the forest?
Huh?
The one in the forest?
No, that one I think they were recharging. I think there's something having to do with them pulling electricity from
the earth.
From the earth, because both the Travis Walton story.
That's why I think they're people. Y'all
maybe, but I'm saying like because
go ahead, finish your story.
And I'll share my so many theory. In the cases that are most credible, where someone gets close to a UFO. They all report the same thing, which is they're like, there was so much static electricity in the air. They're like, when you got it's like you could cut the static electricity with a knife. It's like they're pulling electricity that's always there. Anyway, but so
that actually further supports my theory, and this might piss off some of y'all. I think that UFOs, or at least the vast majority of what we see, is actually us from the future.
The ones that are like not current technology. I think that is
because
totally likely.
but also you saying that they're pulling energy from the earth. Like, would we not figure out how to harness the energy of our own planet maybe at some point in the future?
I mean, now you're just completely, I'm
just
who
going, it
knows?
makes sense to my theory.
It makes sense too.
Anyways,
Makes sense.
I think that they're us, because if you were going to observe
this is my least favorite argument in the world. No offense, but like I've heard people say this. I actually heard the CIA guy say that to Rogan, and Rogan was like, "What are you talking like?
Why?"
Because they're like, "Why would anyone care about us?" You're like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
But it's like,
why do we care about monkeys?
Exactly.
Like,
why do we go
more
study primitive species?
Yeah. Not to mention, if it's the future us, like, you guys do realize we have thousands of nuclear weapons pointed at each other at all times. Like, in a few, you got to figure a more evolved species of, like, a more evolved version of us is going to be valuable, way less tribal, way less likely to do it. And so maybe they're just coming back. I don't understand. Like, how did our species fire thermonuclear? Like, why? Because like, if you actually think about a species that is all kind of connected, like emotionally and mentally, think of how unfathomable it would be
to hurt,
to shoot thermonuclear weapons at each other. Like, it's like, what?
But that's why I think it's us. Like, because there's so many things. I mean, I don't know.
Well, because they won't interact with us is a huge reason to think that could be
right. But we also, when we go study animals and they're like, don't touch the surroundings. But I don't know. I have this whole theory that humans probably do something real fucking stupid at some point, and we probably almost kill our entire planet. And this is not to be like super Debbie Downer right now, but of course, like, a small section is going to survive. And then if you could go back in time, would you not try and fix the moment where human beings killed the earth at some point?
I honestly, that's like a time travel movie that like I can't,
write
you know,
screenplay.
Okay, what are you going to do? Okay, so they go back and fix it. So then what happens? How do the people that came back and fixed it, how do they exist?
That's where the movie's over. They win. Yay, we saved the world.
The only way you could do it's a multiverse.
No, it's over then. That's the end of the movie. There's no sequel. Mission accomplished at the end.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. How would the exact ones who came back to fix the past exist if you fixed it in the past?
I mean, they probably won't. That's what I'm saying. It's a whole like multiverse situation that I don't want to write.
So it's like Back to the Future. So as soon as they fix it, they just evaporate. They're all like, there's like a picture of them. They're all, hey, we're just trying to play guitar as they're like disappearing.
Exactly.
Do you know that reference?
Liza said that movie already exists.
Do you know that reference?
Of course I don't know that reference.
Where he's playing guitar and his hand starts disappearing?
Oh, I do know. I see it in my brain, but I don't know what it is.
I literally just said Back to the Future. Have you seen Back to the Future?
I have. But
Are you sure?
2 years old. Yeah.
We got to show the kids, dude.
Okay.
We got to show the kids. Okay. So now let's look at the thumbnail and title. Okay. So woman admits she lied about Duke lacrosse players raping her nearly 20 years ago. I made up a story. Now, to outline the basic kind of details of this case, okay? It's important that everybody understands, so you understand how the country reacted to it. Okay, so the Duke, Duke is one of the hardest, colleges in the country to get into. I think. Let's see. Actually, I'm really curious. Like, how much is Duke tuition?
Oh gosh.
Ah!
Yeah. Sorry if that pierced any one of y'all's eardrum.
What the fuck?
It's insane. Yeah, it's insane.
Guess, you guys.
Guess
how much do you think Duke costs per year to attend? That is fucking bananas, dude.
Yeah.
No, per year, you guys.
Per year, each year. What is the yearly tuition?
It's $63,000
a year.
A year. That's just tuition. Okay.
Not it says board and books and.
It says total cost is $83,000 a year.
Oh my God.
Dude, and it says the same year, the average total cost for a private 4-year university is $57,570. Hey, let me ask you guys the most common sense question of all time. Okay. Do you think that going to a school that costs $58,000 is going to be a good investment if your kid does not already know exactly what they want to do with their life? Like, that shit makes no sense. Now, if a kid wants to go into investment banking, you want to go Ivy League, okay, and they already know what they're going to do, sure. If your kid is just like, yeah, I got good grades in high school, so I want to go to a good school. And you're like, well, bitch, that fucking school is going to cost us $83,000 a year. So
over 300. Yeah.
as much as we want to send you to the school of your dreams, you're going to need to give me a little bit more about your life plans for me to shell that dough
Or
out.
go get a fuckload of scholarships.
Yeah. Because guess what? We saved lots of money for you, but we didn't save $82,000 for you per year, you selfish little greedy fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, that's insanity, dude. 63,000. Yeah, and that's true
Agreed.
too. Exactly.
You pay to have your children adopt. It's so true.
Exactly, dude. Okay, so in this case, though, sorry, fucking tangents. This is, I mean,
We're never gonna get
if you're new to this channel,
this is what it's like.
this is what it's like. It's like we'll get to the story. I promise.
Might not be
It's
in the
just
same
gonna kind of be like,
video.
whoa, whoa.
Especially when we're live, because then the comments, it takes us on a whole different direction.
Yeah. Someone said in the comments the other day, they're like, I could listen to you guys talk about
The lawn.
the lawn, and I was like, that's the goal.
Yeah.
Like that is the exact.
I
That's
can
the
tell you a lot about it,
exact
actually.
goal. It's like make the show like where it's just fun to listen to us talk about anything. Now, anyway, okay,
Focus.
so the stripper was black. Okay, now it cost $63,000 to go there. Now it was associated price cost in 2006. All the kids were white. They were all wealthy. They're all Duke lacrosse, and lacrosse is such a, hey, what do you play? You play baseball. They're all peasants. I play lacrosse. My dad actually played. My dad played college lacrosse.
Shocker.
And is Oberlin Ivy League? I don't know. Neither here nor there. So yeah, it's
Literally can't breathe.
so it's the lacrosse. Some lacrosse party. They get strippers. This, she's one of the strippers. She goes there. She does private dances, whatever, and then she leaves. And then she's like, I was violently raped. And the story, of course, was super violent and super gnarly, and
she's covered in bruises,
and she's black. And so, as you can imagine, the country was like, I mean, they shut down Duke's lacrosse season
team, right? Yeah,
they like shut down the lacrosse the entire season was forfeit, right? These kids were facing enormous time in prison. It was a fucking nightmare, right?
Yeah, not to mention the rest of their reputation forever.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, and then think about America and we literally just had a schizophrenic, psychotic person who had a history of violence, like serious violence against old people. And when a heroic, no record white person with the help of two not white people held the guy down because he was about to attack women and old people. And there was a large percentage of the country that's like, put him in jail for life. You're all, or, forever. You're like, why? They're all, he's white, he's black, racism. You're all, dude, I'll never understand that.
Deed goes unpunished.
How do you go from like, okay, so here we got two people. I'm going to describe them. One of them is a professional who was a former military person. This one over here is a drug addict, schizophrenic, lunatic, street person with a history of violence. And you're like, what are you? They're like, well, I work for Google. And you're like, or not Google, actually, any other company except Google, because I love you guys. Love you guys.
In corporate America.
They work in corporate America. They have a good job. They work in whatever. They interact with people all the time. And and you think that he should go to jail? They're all, yeah, because racism. You're all, the only thing you have in common with that crackhead is that you're black. Like there's nothing else. You are like the other guy in basic. And you ask him, you're like, hey, what would you do if you saw someone attack a child in the street? Like you saw a little kid that couldn't defend themselves and some lady went over and started shaking the kid and throwing him around. What would you do? She'd be like, I'd go intervene. I'd throw that bitch off her. And you're all, So literally you are just like this guy in every possible way. But somehow you relate to the crackhead, violent psychopath. Ridiculous. So anyway, as you can imagine, in this case, lots of that, these entitled, rich, whitey guys, they looked at her and saw a piece of black trash that they could do whatever they wanted to, and it wouldn't matter. And it's disgusting. The world fucking bought it. And, as the details of the case came out, it was as obvious as the Conor case that she was lying, more so even actually in this case. But, well, I don't know about more so, but at least in this case, there was
Why
like,
is there an Andrew Tate ad or movie thing happening on this story?
I don't have an idea.
I was
at
like,
all.
wait a minute, I know that guy. That's not the lacrosse
Yeah.
people.
Okay, so Crystal Magnum has admitted she made up the allegations that against the 3 Duke lacrosse players. I made up a story that wasn't true because I wanted validation from people and not from God.
Oh yeah, she found Jesus. That's why she.
And she said they didn't deserve what she put them through. Listen, I mean,
I commend her coming forward.
yeah, like my instinct too is whatever. But when you really think about it, this is actually really commendable that she did this
For sure, 100%.
because she could have just sat there.
But the reason why she stated why she did it and not buy-in, go back to that.
Wait, what do you mean?
She said, I made up a story that wasn't true because I wanted
validation
from people
Here,
and not from
scoot
God.
over so people can see you.
That's why you did it?
I mean,
I feel like that's probably not why you did it.
it's hard to say because she's actually crazy.
Okay, well, did she get money for interviews? Did she get?
I mean, she certainly was going to try to get that
Did
money.
Yeah, I feel like we weren't seeking validation. I feel like we might have been seeking something else.
Yep.
But okay.
Okay. So, wait, what? During the recording, Magnum stated she doesn't have any regrets and everything happens to get everybody to the point where they are. It's all to show God's love and his forgiveness. Wait, you don't regret making that story up?
No regrets.
I mean, I feel like it's okay to say, yeah, I regret making that story up because I put these guys through this and made the world think they were rapists when they weren't.
Well, she's a living witness of God's forgiveness. So
yeah, that night, Reed, Seligman, Colin Finnerty, David, they took me into their home and they trusted. The Bible says that they shouldn't do harm to your neighbor and that lives trustingly beside you. And they were my brothers and they trusted me and I wouldn't betray their trust. And I testified falsely against them by saying that they raped me when they didn't. And that was wrong. And I betrayed the trust of a lot of other people who believed in me. I made up that story, which wasn't true. Validation. Okay, we saw that. I want them to know that I love them and they didn't deserve that. And I hope they can forgive me. And I hope they can heal and trust God and know that God loves. See, this is why religion is good for some people, dude. Like it just get like at the end of the day,
if you don't,
if people don't have a strong
their own moral compass.
I mean, religion actually, applied correctly, I think it's good for everybody.
Oh, for sure.
But for people who are going to go all in on it, like this is the outcome, right? If it's applied correctly, it's like I did something wrong. If they don't have like a good moral compass taught to them when they're young, maybe they just don't even know what's right, wrong, whatever. And it's like, here, this is what's right and wrong. Mm-hmm. It's like, in here, you should behave accordingly. Yeah. I mean, I try to instill in our children like those same exact things so that they're just deeply ingrained in their like person either way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Georgia really wants to be a church kid. Mm-hmm. Remember when she had YouTube and we looked at her YouTube, dude? So Georgia, our baby, she had access to YouTube and we went and looked at her history and she was watching nothing but shorts about Jesus.
It was really cute.
It was so cute. We were like, I don't even like, I have no idea how she found them or whatever, but there's like
both of us were like forced into Catholic schools.
Yeah.
And we're not raised Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
So we have our own feelings about things. So
I mean, I don't have any negative feelings.
No, it's not negative. Yeah. I just don't want to like force anything on our kids. Like I have a lot of not great memories of that time. But yeah, I mean, our kids they're all like, I've got my own relationship with God. They've got
same,
their own thing. But when we live in Texas, y'all. So one of Georgia's little friends was like, well, what church do you go to? And she's like, I don't go to church all the time. And they're like, oh, well, you're not Christian. I'm like, you tell that little, I was not happy.
You could tell them
that self-proclaimed Christian child is shaming my child that it was not very nice.
Well, and you could be like, hey,
7.
how much Christian content have you sought out on your own? Because I watch a lot of Jesus on YouTube without anybody telling me to.
Exactly.
I want them to know. Okay, so check this out. In her 2008 book, oh my God, so she wrote a book about this too.
There it is.
In 2008, though. In 2008, yeah. Okay. Book for Last Dance for Grace.
It took her 2 years to write the fucking book.
Oh, that's true. That's true. 2 years later, she's like, I'm going to cash the fuck in.
gonna
I will
get
never
paid
say
on
that
the
nothing at all
story.
happened that night, per the Duke Chronicle. She wanted to.
But hey, validation.
It's been on my heart to do a public apology concerning the Duke lacrosse 18 years.
Started to really.
I actually lied about the incident to the public. Okay. Now she's like, where?
That over so I can see the chat at the same time.
Oh,
Thanks.
okay. Let me go like this. Woo.
Yeah, that's
Okay, there we go.
better. And that's all better.
Whoa! I didn't know we could do that. Look at that. It solves everything.
I know. You're welcome.
Good
what I'm here
job,
for.
Gabrielle, stumbling on things.
I agree, Jeremy. That little child really irked me.
Based on Magnum's claims at the time, were charged with multiple crimes, including rape. None of the players' DNA was found on or inside the accuser's body, and ultimately Magnum's account was debunked, with prosecutors ultimately declaring the players innocent. After the case against the players collapsed, district attorney who had originally charged the players was disbarred in 2007 for unethical conduct, including withholding exculpatory evidence and making inflammatory. I forgot about that fucking guy, dude.
What happened?
I forgot about that guy. This dude. So one of the main reasons why this went so ham is because the prosecutor had a hard on for these kids and like was making all these crazy public statements about it that inflamed.
Probably
basically
didn't get into Duke.
Maybe, dude, I forgot about that, dude. We could look at that later, but
we have precisely a few minutes to cover.
You do. What's
You stay here and hang out with our friends all by yourself?
It's gonna happen.
Ew. Rude.
They're gonna all leave anyway once you leave.
Viewership drop.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what happened. She came out and she's like, I lied. And so
I actually am quite thirsty. But now I'm going to be embarrassed to drink it because you're here.
Look at fuck Google. He's our friend now, dude.
It's our buddy.
Broke my balls for fucking 4 straight years. And now he's like, hey.
Welcome to the dark side.
Yeah.
We're glad you're here with us.
You'll like it. It's much nicer.
Much more
here,
fun
dude.
over here.
So now, as I'm just not going to waver on this case right here as it relates to this gentleman right here. Okay. So I don't care what anyone says. Okay. No one who gets held down, panties ripped off, beaten, the most severe bruising they've ever seen, couldn't sit down with the investigators. Okay. So the cause of those injuries and being assaulted like that, a person who has that happen to them is going to behave in a few specific ways, right? Or at the very least, they're not going to behave in a few specific ways. Like they're not going to get done with that and go, hey, let's go get Coachella tickets together to the person who just did that to them. They are not going to be like, hey, you're going home? Well, that's cool. I have a feeling, I'm just not really very tired. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hang out here with your friend. We're going to go down. We're going to get a little dancing in. A little dancing. I'm going to hang on him and just be like, hey, Conor just took it and it was rough, but I liked it kind of, but not really, whatever. And then go back upstairs and have sex with his friend. That's not a thing that a person who is the victim of that crime would do. So she can say whatever she wants. People can buy this story for whatever reason that they want. But as soon as you factor that in, it's not true. No one is going to convince me otherwise. Now, as long as the CCTV evidence is real, which there is absolutely no reason to believe that it's not, because they're not even disputing it, not true.
Excuse me. Josh Maddox said that the drones are in his township and it's freaking weird.
Josh Maddox, we need you to go outside
and take photos.
Take photos and videos and send them to us. Send them to us. So now, with that as the backdrop, since Conor is almost certainly innocent of this crime, now let's just look at what's going on in his life since this girl made up a story to explain to her boyfriend why she was out for 2 straight days, didn't call him, lied.
3 days.
Was lying to him the entire time. Verified, 100% verified that she's sitting there lie. Nothing she said to them was true. Again, if one side's entire case relies on the word of a person, you're like, well, who is this person? They're all, oh, well, this is the head of this charity for children. She's literally, There's no record of her lying about anything. All she does with her time is help children, do this, do this. You're like, okay, well, I believe her. It's like, what about this one? She's like, this one was doing cocaine for 3 straight days, lying to
her
every
husband
single
and
person,
child repeatedly.
whether she wanted to or didn't. She went to a penthouse with Conor McGregor, who she had been seducing online, and
while she's engaged to another man,
living with him with a kid, lying to her kid, lying to the man, doing blow the whole way there.
Yeah.
And then, hey, does she have a reason that she would have lied? You're all, yes, 100%, because she got home and she had been lying and she's caught. And so how do I flip this around? I was raped. You know, it's like
old as trick in the book.
And then every single person who was there testified against her.
Yeah.
So anyway, so
it's not looking good for her.
It is not looking good, dude. But it doesn't matter though, because they found Conor responsible, and then the judge decided to tack another 1.5 million euros on him just to be an asshole.
Wow.
And so Conor, listen,
sucks, man.
For the record though, I don't fault anyone for how they behave in this situation if they believe he did it. You know what I mean? Like, I just want to be perfectly clear about that. If a person believes that he did it, then they should be, I mean, like, if I believed a person did what he is accused of doing, I mean, I would pull my deals from him also.
Hey, John.
Like, I would pull all my deals. I would slam him in the media. I would call him the worst things in the world for sure if I thought he really did it. So like them pulling their advertising, because in order to know that he didn't do it it requires a lot of research to like look into the case, because on the surface it looks terrible.
Mm-hmm.
It requires you to think logically. Once you hear about the CCTV security footage, you go, how do you get around that? It's like, fuck, I can't. You're like, exactly.
I can't keep a straight face with your serious story in the chat.
Wait, what? Where?
I had a drink of water.
Oh. Did someone say something about it?
Yeah.
Yes, Gabby, drink it.
I'm literally trying to listen to you and like not like burst out laughing. I need to go pick up our children now. That was my alarm.
Okay, I'll finish. I'll finish the point, and
it's
then
been real.
Yeah, I gotta. I mean,
see y'all soon.
Bye.
Bye,
Gabrielle. We'll see you shortly, and then we'll record another video. Wait, what time? What are our? We have to take the kids to Jits in 90 minutes ish, right? Right. Okay, we'll figure it out. So yeah. So this is just another thing going on with Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor has seen his social media follower count drop even further as the fallout from his recent civil case continues. But here's the bigger one. Conor is leaving Ireland. You guys remember he's literally like the heart of Ireland. He's leaving the country. It's got to be just unbelievably heartbreaking, because like he got mega canceled in Ireland. Mega canceled. I honestly Conor has done so well for himself, and he's so wealthy and he's so famous, and he's behaved really badly in a lot of different situations. He punched the old guy. He probably attacked that girl on the boat. He like went nuts on it. Machine Gun Kelly, the DJ story where he punched. Who knows what kind of other things have not been reported. Like when that guy is doing yayo and drinking, he is a volatile, person that is dangerous to be around potentially. I've said a million times, dude, if Conor was like, Jesse on fire, let's go hang out, I'd be like, all right, let's go. And if he was like, Jesse on fire and Gabrielle, let's go hang out, I'd be like, no. Because I think if you get too late at night with him, like, I think his like just animal brain turns on and he's like, rawr. But it's neither here nor there, because I don't believe he did this particular one. So just like, imagine what it would feel like if you were like an icon of your country, and then you have this happen, assuming that he didn't do it. This girl is literally completely making this up. Like, just think about that, dude. You're like, and you go to the police, you tell the police what happened. They look into it and they're like, okay, yeah, she was lying. Like she's caught. Like the police caught her lying. That's why this thing, like they're acting like, oh yeah, they didn't prosecute because there just wasn't enough evidence. They didn't think they'd be able to get a conviction. You're all, I mean, what you're saying is correct, but it's because they caught her lying. She lied, and they caught her on video. Like they had a video that was like, you made that up. So like, imagine being Conor McGregor in that situation, and then after years, like she sues you anyway, and then you end up in civil court, and you're trying to defend yourself, and she's up there crying her eyes out. You're looking at the jury, and the jury's crying with her, and you're like, and it's a fucking lie. Like you're like, I did not do this. I did not do this. You know, like it must take. I can't even imagine the self-control it would take, you know, to not want to jump on the table and be like, this lying fucking bitch, I did not do this. It's a lie. You know what I mean? Like she's putting on this ridiculous performance. And you really didn't do it, you know? And then like you go, and then afterwards, all of your sponsors are like, we're not doing business with a grapist. And you're like, and like every single thing that you know, all the relationships are just like disintegrated. You know, one thing I will say is a thing like this is going to do an excellent job for a person as wealthy and famous as Conor of filtering out the people who don't belong in your life, you know, because the ones who are still there, they're like, I know you, dude. I know you didn't do this. And so they stand by. Those are the people you keep in your life, you know, because they're like, the guy's crazy. There's no chance he did this. You know what I mean? But yeah, look, no, LeBron didn't quit. LeBron is taking personal time just out of nowhere, you know, personal time. Oh, you're just going to skip some games. Like, yeah, got a lot of distractions in my life right now. But yeah, so Conor McGregor is fleeing Ireland. Now it sounds like it's actually happening. One of my buddies is actually good buddies with him and said that he had heard about this a week before and that he is going to move to the United States. So he has a plush apartment in Las Vegas. I mean, if he moves to the United States, he's going to get a lot more than an apartment, I would imagine. The commercial damage in Britain and Ireland has been massive, with retailers refusing to sell his stout, Proper 12 whiskey. She took everything from him, man. And then now he has to deal with Artem Lobov in court. You know what I mean? So now Artem Lobov, who, and this case is different, you know. Artem Lobov is saying that, you know, he should have had a 5% stake in Proper 12. But I mean, we'll see how that goes. I mean, listen, dude, like Conor offered him $1 million and Lobov turned it down. The thing, I mean, I guess it could be as much as $6.5 million for Lobov. I mean, listen, dude, at the end of the day on that case, the thing that's going to have Artem in a tough spot is I've read the messages where he specifically said he did not want any compensation. Now, I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it. If he really did what he says that he did, which was like actually come up with a lot of the details of founding the company, and he was kind of being treated as a partner, and if Conor made promises to him, and then, you know, he made a dumbass decision and was kind of like, no, I don't want the money. Listen, that's one of those things. This is if there's anything that comes out of you guys watching this video in terms of value to take back to your own life, hear exactly what I'm saying in this next part. Okay. A lot of people will operate under the feeling that, like, if someone offers you something in business, like someone relationship with, and they're like, why don't I bring you in on this deal, that you're being a good friend if you're like, you know what, man, this is your thing. Go ahead and rock and roll with it. Okay. No, that's no. If they offered it to you, you know, like I mean, you know, within reason, like if someone comes in there, you're clearly not deserving of what they're offering, but like, that's what Artem did. He said some crazy thing. He's like, I will go to sleep at night knowing that your friendship means more than whatever. You think you wouldn't have been friends if you would have taken 5% of Proper 12? Like that's so dumb, because if you own 5% of Proper 12, then as Proper 12 wins, you're winning together. You know, like it actually makes you closer because you're winning together. You know, I guess how far into this thing are we? 49 minutes. Like I have this thing. I think like the fact that people can't talk about money publicly, or not publicly, but just like how it's kind of taboo to get into like specific numbers. Like I kind of understand it, I guess, because you don't want to like sound or come off like you're flexing on people. You also don't want to make people like feel bad, you know, but at the same time, money is this underlying shared lived experience that every single person in the world has, like literally everyone, certainly everyone in America, where it's like, you can't really understand a person's day to day or year, whatever, if you don't have some kind of insight into what their money looks like, because it determines every single thing about what you can and can't do, so on, so forth, etc. You know, and like in, you know, as I alluded to in one of those videos I did previously, like Gabrielle's business and my channel really blew up in 2024, and they kind of happened at the same time. But like, I don't know if I want to say real numbers, but like, it's funny because today, we were like, she got her monthly check and like, or, you know, we saw how much it was going to be. And I did the second most I've ever done on the channel, only behind, the July when the Trump thing exploded. And, I don't know if I want to say number. Okay. Well, the point of the story is Gabrielle fucking beat me by a fucking fair margin too. But it's cool because in the nature of her business, like her two, like the two people that are her, like, you know, one's directly above her and one's directly below her, they're making almost exactly the same amount of money right now, like monthly. And so I'm like listening to them talk about it. And it's really rare like that, where they can talk about, like, they're all winning together, you know, and it's like, I don't know. It's fucking cool, man. It is pretty fucking cool. You know, I made 48K and she fucking beat the shit out of me. She's a gangster, dude. She's a gangster. That's my, I think, like, I'm pretty sure that's my second. I think I did 60 all in July. And it might've been more than that. I know I made 55 just on AdSense, but anyway, she smoked me. And like her and all of her people all are making about the same, which is just fucking bananas, dude. You know, it's the most money we've made, like consistently been making by a fucking mile. But nonetheless, we don't buy shit. We just save it. Anyway, so 2025. Thank you, dude. Thank you very much. Because listen, dude, here's the, you know, like if we basically, we make money, if like we took exactly what we've been making the last few months, and then that went over 2025 with no growth at all, probably do about like maybe 1.5 next year. But I think we're going to continue to go increment. Like it's only gone up pretty much. But here's the thing though. Okay. 2015, my life imploded with my company. Had to file bankruptcy at the end of 2015. 2016, the first half, I was essentially scrambling, like unemployed, still trying to put my company back together, whatever. I ended up taking a role for a new company in Utah. Chief product officer, was making a little bit of money for a while. Ended up losing that job when they downsized my position. I ended up in Utah, unemployed, without a single dollar of income coming in. Did not know anyone. No one. Did not know anyone in the entire state of Utah that was not associated with the company that I had just gotten let go of. So like we're in total isolation, locked in a year-long lease. And that happened in April. So it was May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So like 8 months in Utah, like the absolute bottom of the barrel, broke, desperate, depressed. I mean, like, I can't even describe what it was like for me, especially like a person who's kind of wired like me, where, you know, at least until I got, you know, until you get to a certain threshold, you're kind of like, you feel like you're kind of competing with people that you know. And I was like, there's not a person that I've ever met that is not beating me right now. Like everyone's beating me. Everyone. And it was really fucking hard to deal with. And then I took a job that I didn't want to do at all. And I had to do that for a few years, waking up at 4:30 in the morning, taking BART into San Francisco every single day. And then in 2020, started the channel. And at the same time, started making a lot more money in that job. And then Gabrielle started her thing. And Gabrielle started doing what she's doing in 2017 while we were jammed up in Utah. And then it just incrementally kind of, did well and not so. And then we did well, then not so. And then once she started on this particular opportunity, all the stuff she learned just crushed. And, and then my channel started. I mean, my channel really blew up this year too. It's just one of those things where like, I think the struggle times that we had were the most valuable periods out of all of that stuff, because I don't know, dude, like if you just kind of go into something and you just instantly win, if you're like a little Jack Doherty fucker, like you're like a little Jack Doherty and you start making content when you're like a teenager and you get super big and then you get bigger, like those are the kinds of guys that like buy Lamborghinis and saw the tops off them for like content shit, where they just don't value anything. They don't know what it's like to struggle. They don't know what it's like to be broke. They don't know what it's like to be fucking hopeless with 3 kids and a wife that does not work, who's never had a job. Gabrielle had never had a job then. Like, well, that's not true. Had never worked since we were together. Right? Like, I mean, aside from like side hustle while she was like in school or whatever. Like they have no idea what that's like, which is why they puke money all over the place as opposed to being like, fuck, I remember what it was like to like not have money and not have any idea how you're going to support your family. And that feeling will not leave you, dude, because we've been making money like we are right now we were making good money before that, but not like 6 figures a month. And neither of us have bought a car. Neither of us have bought anything. We just bank it. But that's 100% because I know what it's like to be broke, desperate, and hopeless. It's really valuable, dude. Yeah. That's it's that. Yeah. Because she built a really strong. Oh, John Emerson, thank you very much, dude. She built a really strong organization. It's like so anybody who knows network marketing, like the way it works is like a company will have a product or whatever, and instead like there's like these ones that are like it's like make believe, and it requires people who participate in the network marketing side to buy a shitload of stuff every single month. So it kind of like perpetuates, but it ensures that some people who are trying to do the business are going to like lose lots of money because or not lose it, but they're just going to have to buy a bunch of stuff and they're not really like doing well. So that's one way that business is kind of whatever, depending on the company. But the way like a good network marketing company works is they have great products. And instead of, spending a shitload of money on marketing, they just go out and build an organization of people who promote the products and then recruit other people who believe in the products and promote them themselves. It's literally just take the marketing budget that you would spend over here and pay it out to people who will market it to their network. That's literally it. It's the simplest thing in the entire world. And so, you make money on your own personal sales, and then you make money on all the personal sales of the people who go underneath you. If you find 5 people that are going to market it, and then they each find 5 people who are going to market it, they each find 5 people who are going to market it, and they each find 5, and you're getting paid down 8 levels of people. It's a lot of fucking people. You know what I mean? So, and also Gabrielle is her, the products that she does are awesome. Awesome. But, yeah, I don't know, man. It's like, but getting your, oops, that's how I made side money through affiliate links. Yeah, dude. And Gabrielle is so like, she's just such a problem solver. She builds like automated systems that run people through, like, so she doesn't have to personally do it's like just an entire automated DM system. It's fucking crazy, dude. Oh, Natalie, thank you very much. My wife appreciates you and Gabrielle getting to where you both are. Thank you, man. It feels pretty fucking good. But at a certain point, it's like, you know how people say that like it's like diminishing returns once you get over a certain amount of money, where they're like, people say it's whatever number. It's actually ridiculous. They're all, well, they've shown that it's anything over $70,000 a year is diminishing returns. You're like, okay, you can't put a specific number. I know the point you're making, but you don't know where, like, $70,000 a year in the fucking Philippines is very different than $70,000 a year living in San Francisco. So I understand the point you're making, that it's like up to a certain point and then diminishing returns, which I'm sure is true. But I honestly, what my honest opinion is I've always believed in, well, not believed, I know that the equation for happiness is reality minus your expectations. Someone said that to me a long time ago. I've said it 1 billion times on the channel, and it's just completely true. And all it means is, like, if you have two guys and they're in software sales, what I was doing when I was desperate and like had to go do something, which I swore I would never go back to corporate America. So I'm doing software sales. And then you have another person doing the exact same. Both of us are making identical money. I am so deeply depressed that it's hard for me to like get through the day. It's hard for me to do a good job in the role, and the other guy is so happy that he's in the position that he's in, that he's like optimistic and he's going through he's just so happy to be there that he's crushing. Okay. We're doing the exact same thing. We have the exact same job. We're responsible for the exact same things. We have the exact same status kind of within the organization and the industry. One of us is happy as a clam every single day. The other one is miserable. And all it comes down to is, well, why are you miserable? You're like, because I wanted to be outside of corporate America. I wanted to do this. I was working on, I expected to be here, which is, and now I'm here. And the other guy is like, man, I just took this job. I never in a million years thought that I would get this role. I can't believe, like whatever the money is, like say it's for any job. It's like, I never thought I'd make 6 figures, and I'm making more than 6 figures now. And the other person's like, I thought I'd be making 4 times this exact same amount of money. And this person is ecstatic and this person is miserable. So happiness, reality minus your expectations. And that's the, the simplest way to, guarantee that you're going to be happy is just, set the bar low. I mean, that's not like good advice exactly, but you understand what I'm saying. Chi-Town, what's up, my man? What I like about you and your wife is that you're so damn down to earth and don't act like those stuck up people. We think the same. I hope so, dude. And I appreciate you. Like that's honestly, that's, like I was saying, like, I know money is taboo, especially like believe me, I am not, I'm aware that, tracking at $1.5 million a year is very rare and it's a lot of fucking money. But I just kind of operate under the assumption that if you watch our stuff consistently, then I'm not trying to flex on people. I'm definitely not trying to make anybody feel bad. I'm not trying to like pump myself up at the expense of other people. It's just, it's what's happening in my life. And I have been in a really, the situation that I was in 2017 is as low as a person can be in the world. And so I just figure that if I share the whole story, then people who are in a tough spot can know that things can change very, very quickly, and they could change in a really, really big way too. But the most important thing is just, you got to figure out what you want. You really got to get it clear in your mind, like exactly what you want. And then just start working towards it, and just believe that it can happen, because it can. In all honesty, will. If you believe it's going to happen and then you do the work, it will. I really believe that. In my opinion, who would win, Dylan Dennis or Kron? I mean, right now, well, I don't know. It's impossible for me to say, because Dylan, I don't know what he's, how much he's been training. I mean, dude, as far as I know, Dylan, since he got kicked out of his academy, I don't even know if he's been consistently training with like a world-class team. But I mean, make no mistake about it. Dylan is a ridiculous grappler. Exceptional. And all you have to do, go watch him versus Gordon Ryan. Go watch that fight. You know, John, I'm poor as fuck, and I know that you guys have worked your ass off for everything you have. That's exactly right. We did, dude. And the other thing too is like, you know, it's like money's all relative too, dude. You know, it's all relative. But I will say, of course, like I know the emotion of being broke, and like, and not just being broke, but not having any idea how you're going to solve the problem. I think that honestly is the worst part of it, you know, because like the specifics of what happened to me were I had started a company in a very specific industry, and I was, you know, like a CEO of like a startup that was starting to get traction, whatever. And then kind of all at once, I didn't just get like the shit hit the fan when we sold our company, whatever, but also, so like we lost that. And then simultaneously the entire industry got gutted because, you know, Eric Schneiderman, who is a Democrat from New York, came in and started a chain reaction where a bunch of states made what we were doing illegal. It's legal now though, you know, so they just did it temporarily just to destroy, you know, any of the small companies. But so it wasn't just that like I didn't have a job. It was that all of my applicable experience and skills were in this space that literally not only was not growing, it was like it had gone from this to like this. And so there's like two places I could potentially try to work. And, you know, one of them I had already gone through the process, and like throughout that, like I was definitely never going to be able to work for them. So it was like, okay, well, what am I going to do? Like I have no transferable skills. I have a wife. I have 3 kids. It's not like I've been in this type of role and I'm just looking for another job. You know what I mean? It's like, if you have a lot of experience in some kind of role, like say, you know, software, like if I ever had to go back to software sales or whatever, like my resume is like, yeah, look, I was in enterprise software. Here are some of the deals I've done. If you ask me to come in and give a presentation, I know how to do it now. I didn't know that stuff then, you know? So I had no idea how I was going to solve this problem at all. And it was like it was the lack of direction. Now, what's hilarious to think about in hindsight, you know, which is, I mean, honestly, I actually do this is fucking hilarious. All I would have needed to do if I knew what I know now, it's buy a fucking camera and a microphone, and then take all that time that I had while I was wallowing and fucking looking around online, pretending like I was going to somehow find a job or whatever, and just been making videos and posting them every day. And that would have been before the algorithm changed. I would have exploded on YouTube, because that was in 2017, before they kind of like, you know, chopped the algorithm down to where you can't really blow up like that. So this solution was right there, but I didn't know. I had no idea, dude. Sell me software on Friday. Dude, I got you, dude. Well, tell me what you need. Tell me about your business, my man. What kind of problems are you trying to solve in your organization? What are your goals in the next 1, 3, 5 years? How many employees do you have? What's your revenue look like? Where are you being inefficient? Etc. If anybody is in sales and someone says, sell me this thing, like in a job interview, that's the answer, everybody. If someone says, sell me this pen, okay, that's a trick. Well, it's not a trick, but it's like, sell me this pen. People who don't know shit about sales, which is 90% of salespeople, will go, listen, take a look at this pen. You can click it on and off. It writes amazing. This has ballpoint technology. It's been proven to be one of the most efficient writing pens in the world. That's a fail. That's a fail. Failure. Okay. How did I fail? Well, try again. It's blue. Look at your eyes. It's blue. I'm making it more personal. You know, I could tell by the way you looked at this pen, you're the kind of person that loves blue pens. How about we give you a test drive with the pen? Wrong. Fail. Fail. The answer is ask them questions. That's the right answer. He goes, so talk to me about what you want from a pen. Have you had any struggles with pens in the past? You know, how many pens do you like to own? Do you have a preference where you like to have a single pen that's kind of your main go-to with backups? Oh, you do? Do you have a main pen right now? Are you looking to upgrade your main pen? Are you looking for a backup? What's your budget? Do you prefer ballpoint? Do you prefer this? Why? That's how you do it. Ask them questions. And then when they give you answers, then you sell them the fucking pen. And you tailor it to fit into the needs that you've uncovered. That's the correct answer 100% of the time. There's no like other answer. Ask them questions. Can I bring back the blue shades from the Miami event? Dude, honestly, I think I know where they are, man. Bro, this is the comment of the year. I hope everybody knows this reference. I'm going to make a pen disappear. Had this test once. I said, you need this pen and told them why. Yeah, wrong. Could have been right. You just needed to get them to say why they needed the pen first. You have to walk them into it, you know? Well, I mean, unless you ask them questions first, if they said they needed the pen first and then you sold it to them, then that's the correct answer. But if you don't ask questions, you're failing. Like I don't mean like failing, like I'm saying you're failing. I'm saying the interviewer is like fail. And for the record, I was not born with that information. I found out because I asked the vice president of sales at one of my companies a long time ago. I was like, so what are you looking for in a like when you interview a candidate, what are you trying to, you know, like, how are you choosing who you hire? And I can't remember exactly, but it was like, what questions are they asking? Yada, yada. I was like, okay, that's so obvious. And then he gave the pen thing. And I was like, because I was like the king of fucking pitch, you know, let me just pitch this shit to you, you know, here, man, look at this freaking thing, man. It's huge. You look like the kind of guy that likes a big pen that matches your big penis, huh? Huh? Am I right? Am I right? Like a Dunsky. Also, after you get the sale, you need to stop. Correct. When you get the answer that you want, take it. Attaboy. That's kind of different, though. Like, you know, like that kind of sales is a little bit different. I mean, you still not exactly, you still are like, hey, what are you looking for? You know what I mean? What brands do you like? And you bring them to the right place. But then you can really be like, that shit looks good on you. Because that, dude, that actually, like if you're selling someone clothes or shoes, that if you're good with people, you can crush with that without a lot of like sales tactics. You know what I mean? You just are like, bruh. You know, if you're charismatic, you're like, are you serious? Are you going to, hey, you're going to not walk out of here with those fucking shoes? Look at yourself, dude. Look in the mirror. Come on, guy. I don't know if I can afford them. You can't afford to not have them, dude. Look at those fucking shoes, dude. When you came in here, you were a 7. Now you're a 10. Get the fuck out of here. Go buy them. You could pull that shit with shoes, you know? Dude, that would actually be a great YouTube video if you got like a bunch of like, I don't know, medium-sized YouTube personalities and you put them in a situation like that with like hidden cameras and we compete on who could sell, you know, like, and they just watch like people like me or like whoever else is kind of like a loudmouth retard. And we're in that environment and like, you just film us for the whole day and we compete to see who can sell the most in a situation like that. I guarantee we would get gold content. Oh, for sure. For sure, dude. And this, yeah, I mean, any, like, Actually, to be honest with you, e-commerce, websites, web apps, and plumbing, the sales process is very, very similar. Very similar. I mean, in both situations, you kind of have to go through that process. I mean, with the websites and e-commerce, you have to get a little bit more granular. But ultimately, you demonstrate a level of professionalism when you're interacting with them that makes them feel comfortable that you're going to deliver on the service that you're providing, and then price. And if you're kind of like in an imaginary battle on price against people you don't really know. So you need to kind of tailor your conversation to the fact you basically are selling against imaginary people who are going to offer a lower price against you without making it obvious. You tell like a story about, listen, like I price it this way because, and then you tell a story about someone who, offered a lower price, and some kind of story, that kind of undermines the other outfit, like in plumbing. I don't know. You know what I mean? I think she just got back and then left again. She has to go get the kids, yo. Yeah. Hey guys, where'd mommy go? She left to get Giselle? All right. Yeah, she's out. All right, I got to jump because I got to film a video about these UFOs for my main channel, and it's going to be the bomb. All right, love you guys. You guys, me and Gabrielle will do another live stream this weekend for sure. You guys are the best. Love you guys.